Hi guys, welcome back and thanks for watching. So today I thought that I would bring you through my simple everyday foundation routine using mineral makeup. Mineral makeup is definitely my preferred foundation. Liquid foundations I wore for years and my skin didn't like it too much, and I just didn't like the way it felt on my skin very much. And I don't require full coverage for everyday makeup anyway, so mineral foundation was a real find for me maybe back 2005 or so. Ever since, it's been my preferred foundation. Right now I am rocking with the mineral Hygenics. I am allergic to bismuth oxychloride, and if you don't know what that is, then I will link to a video up here for you to go ahead and read more about it. Short version is that if you've ever had any kind of skin reaction, itching, redness, irritation from wearing mineral makeups, you may have an opportunity to wear mineral makeup if you find ones that do not have bismuth oxychloride in them, of which mineral Hygenics is one of them. Everyday Minerals is another one that I also like, which doesn't include bismuth oxychloride, so might want to give that a try if it was a problem in the past. So I already moisturized my face. I do that when I get out of the shower, hence the towel on my head I just got out. So I don't consider that part of the foundation routine because that's something that I do right when I get out of the shower when my skin is nice and moist and warm, and let it soak into my skin before I start anything. But one step I do consider is any primer potion of any kind. I am using today, I've been testing out Benefit Pore-fessional. It's a pore minimizing foundation primer. So just a few little dabs. One thing that I think people do by accident is that they overuse their foundation primer and or try and use it like a lotion. You know, with moisturizer you really want to get a lot of it and you want to get it into your skin and really absorb it into your skin, whereas primers are something that you want sitting on top of your skin. It should feel more like a barrier on your skin, a breathable, comfortable barrier, but a barrier nonetheless between whatever foundation you put on top and the skin underneath, and allow them to work together in harmony. So just a couple of dabs, tiny dabs on my fingers is all I need, and just like with a liquid foundation, I'm just going to kind of pre-distribute it around my face in a few places. And then I'm just kind of lightly sweeping it over my face. You can see that I'm not rubbing it in like I would, you know, massaging it into the skin. I'm just brushing it over the surface, getting a nice coat onto my skin. And that's why it feels slippy. Some people say that they don't like the feel of primers because they feel silicone-y or they feel slippy. Well, that's kind of the point of a primer, and maybe you just don't like primers, and that's fine. You don't have to use them. I find that I get better coverage and smoother coverage when I do, and again, the slippiness is kind of the point. So have that spread all over. And then I have my handy little dish. This is just a little like dessert dish that I got at the grocery store, and I'm gonna tap a little bit of my foundation into the bowl. Like so. And then I just kind of hit the side of the bowl to spread it around the bowl a little bit so that it's not all just in one little pile. Then I take my kabuki brush. This is a Sephora kabuki brush, which honestly is not my favorite kabuki brush that I've ever owned, but it's cheap and readily available, and my last kabuki brush was well used and I needed a replacement, so I grabbed this guy. And I just swirl it around in the bowl to pick some up, and then tap it off on the edge, any excess. And then I'm gonna distribute it just in a big C on my cheek here. And then from there I start to distribute it further, buffing it into the skin. And the buffing motion for me is more about just distributing it evenly. The bismuth oxychloride, a little history lesson while I'm getting this done, a little science lesson. Bismuth oxychloride, the buffing action that they recommend for products like Bare Minerals is because of the bismuth oxychloride. You actually need to kind of press that molecule into your skin to get it to stay. Otherwise it'll just sit on the surface of your skin and it'll just come off like powder. So the buffing action for them is actually, they really want you buffing and pressing. If you have a foundation that does not have this methoxychloride in it, you can actually get away with a much lighter touch, and it's more about, you know, pushing it around the surface of your skin to get even coverage. So same motion, slightly different pressure, and for different reasons. I have rosy cheeks, so I always do a little extra on my cheek and around my nose where I get redness. And I do go over my lids as well to get even coverage there as well, and then up into my hairline and back towards my ears, so it's all nice and even. Okay, so I have a few little blemishes here that I want to cover up, and I just use a flat shader brush to distribute a little product there. So pick it up with a flat shader brush and I just dab it on. And any other redness that I want to get a little bit more concealed coverage on. I do not use my mineral foundation for under eye circle coverage. If I feel that I do have some bags under the eyes, then I actually use a liquid concealer before I put this over the top. I find that any place with too many lines or texture, like the area under my eyes, it tends to look cakey if I try and build up in those areas. So I try to make a point to use something a little bit lighter but more opaque in those areas so it doesn't cause an issue. And that's it. That's my finished foundation. The nice clean canvas to work from. What is your foundation routine? Do you use mineral makeup? Do you use liquid foundation? Do you just use a BB cream for your routine in the morning or afternoon or whenever you're putting this on? I'd love to hear more about what your routine is. Come over and tell us over at the Beauty Along blog, beautyalong.com. There's lots of other videos, inspiration, and information for you there, and I hope that you'll join us. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.
You know what I mean? Hanging around with the girl who's rolling up her jeans. She watches